Okay, it's day 4 of our Colorado trip and we finally got some decent weather. It's not snowing today, at least right now it's not. So we are gonna hike through Garden of the Gods until it starts raining this afternoon. Garden of the Gods is located right on the edge of Colorado Springs, and these rocks seem just like a little bit out of place, but it is such a cool place to explore and visit. So the rocks are actually a mixture of sandstone and limestone. You can see here you have everything from these bright reds to pinks to whites, so there's a lot of different color variety, even though it is definitely known for the red rocks. And there are plenty of things for you to see as a hiker exploring the park. So some of the rocks are open for you to climb on, but there are many of the larger formations that actually require a rock climbing permit if you want to explore them a little bit further. So make sure you're reading the signs. You're not going to be able to climb on all of the rocks, but there is still plenty to do, plenty of hiking trails for you to go on. Actually, there are about 15 miles of hiking trails. You can also bike throughout the park, and these trails are mostly accessible. So there is one that is totally paved. It is wheelchair and stroller accessible, so if you have somebody with disabilities or have a young child that needs a stroller, you are still going to be able to explore a good portion of the park. That trail is about 1.5 miles, but there are plenty of other areas that are a little bit more off the beaten path that require you to have some hiking shoes on, or at least some tennis shoes, and are going to be a little bit more rocky. But nothing here is too difficult to hike on. So you can get a lot of really awesome views, even if you are not an experienced hiker or not used to the elevation that you are at in Colorado Springs, because definitely that elevation will get to you if you do not watch out. But the views are absolutely breathtaking, and it's not just from the red rocks, but also the view of the surrounding mountains as well, which it was a bit of a cloudy day for us, so we did have some trouble seeing the mountains, but it was still a really awesome view. There's also a visitor and nature center, so if you're interested in learning more about the red rock formations, the animals and wildlife in the area, and just how the park came to be, you are also able to go ahead and check that out. So after we spent some time at Garden of the Gods, we took a trip back up into the mountains to visit Cave of the Winds. And excuse the dark footage, but you know, we were in a cave, so I did the best that I could. So this cave was actually discovered in 1881, and Cave of the Winds does offer 2 different tours of the cave for visitors to explore and get to see all of the different formations that are available. We did the discovery tour, which lasted about an hour, and it was in the electrically lit part of the cave. There was paved areas. The tour consisted of about 196 stairs. It was about 1/2 mile in duration, and there were plenty of tight spaces and interesting cave formations. So we really enjoyed learning more about the history of the cave, the formations that were present, how they got there, and if you were somebody who wants something that's not as informational, but you want something a little bit more spooky or mysterious, there is a tour that is offered called the Haunted Lantern Tour, which is lit only by candlelight. It's about 90 minutes long, so you can take that as well. But be aware, you're going to be in some total darkness or very dimly lit areas if you decide to take that tour instead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, because the next video we are taking you on all the different sites of Denver, and let me tell you, we went all over the place. I hope you enjoyed getting to see inside the cave and getting to see inside Garden of the Gods, because we had a great time touring both of these areas. And so if you're in Colorado Springs, I would highly recommend checking out both of these. There is a small gift shop and a lot of activities at Cave of the Winds, so you can check those out as well. There's a zip line, I believe, and some other fun activities if you have children. So this is the original entrance. You see that right at the very end, and I'm glad that we did the tour that we did, so we didn't have to try to crawl down that hole.